someone that you walked away from that is pulling on your energy recently. You can feel them, you may be having dreams about them, you may be thinking about them randomly, seeing like signs or synchronicities about them. This again is someone that you walked away from, and why you are feeling them is because they felt that the ending between you was a bit abrupt. They didn't feel like you guys got the closure that they would have wanted. They didn't feel like they got a chance to explain their side of the story, or that you would know how they felt when you walked away. So this is someone who could be like a bit stoic or unfeeling on the outside. They could have avoidant tendencies, but on the inside they do feel things very deeply. They may not like to show it, that sort of thing. They don't like being vulnerable. However, what wants to come through, interesting, this could be how this energy of closure here, right, with this Life on Earth card, they can feel you moving on. They may see you moving on. They may be watching you, but this is to sort of get clarity on what they wish you knew about how they felt when you sort of like took your energy back and walked away, did your own, because they don't feel like they really got to voice what was going on their end. So if that is something that you have also wanted some kind of closure on, this is your message. This is just like how they felt when you walked away, and sort of like what was going on. It definitely triggered some kind of self-worth wound, had them feeling like left out in the cold, unworthy. I'm hearing like too good for this, like you being too good for this. It was almost like proof to them. They felt that you were too good for them. So this was almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. This person could have sabotaged your connection, consciously or subconsciously, because they felt that you were too good for them. Okay, yeah, this person definitely saw you as a wish fulfillment. Interesting. But they kept it to themselves. They didn't know how to communicate that to you. So that could be something, either like you got tired of them not saying anything to you, or that sort of thing. This is something that has kept them up at night. So when you walked away, that was, it's sort of like all of their anxieties and fears that had been sitting in the back of their head was brought to the forefront. They had the feeling, interesting, almost like they were holding you back in some way. Or that like you had a lot of passion, drive, like creative sparks, creative ideas that they felt that they couldn't keep up. Yeah, or that they wouldn't be able to keep up with you, that they weren't like enough for you on some level, that they didn't think that they could be the same kind of wish fulfillment for you that you are or were for them. Okay, interesting. So for some of you, where I was getting that like didn't know how to talk to you about this, okay, yeah, this is confirmed with the creative. So you're someone who's very creative, dynamic, attractive. You hold a lot of wisdom. Like there's more to you than meets the eye. They see you as very much like up on a pedestal. They saw you very much as like above them in some capacity. They got the sense where I said like they didn't want to like show their hand or tell you that how they felt about you. They got the sense from you that you saw them more as like a friend, that you probably weren't as invested in the connection as they were. So they wanted to play it safe. They wanted to play it cool. They didn't really think that you were something that they could go for, that like they would pour their heart out to you and you'd be like, oh, that's really nice, but like I just see you as a friend. You know, they thought it was more of that thing. However, they did want some kind of connection with you, where this is like spiritual. They saw something like a much higher level of commitment. This could be like a soul tie with you, but they didn't think that you would feel the same way. And this was something that they had been manifesting. Right? They didn't really know, like, this was like a wish fulfillment for them that they had been manifesting for a while. And it felt too good to be true when it landed. Yeah, this was like this was a sign of victory for them. So there's like some kind of accomplishment that they wanted to reach in their life. And this was a manifestation that was tied to it. And they didn't necessarily feel that they were like worthy of receiving this at this time. This person could have trouble receiving, but they saw you as yeah, certainly beyond what they were worth at that time, and they were afraid of sort of like popping that bubble of delusion of like, if I take the chance to make this real, if I show my feelings, there is going to be the potential that I've just been like fucking delusional this whole time, and it's all been in my head, and if I say something, you're going to be like, okay, walk your ass back to like the little friend zone corner I put you in, and like get out of my face. Like they thought that that this was not mutual, that they were just sort of like quietly just pining for you, or that sort of thing, that it had no chance of being like a mutual connection. It was just them sort of like admiring from afar, and being like your not so secret admirer, and you were just doing you. I get the sense where I do have these two queens here, two very beautiful energies, very abundant, very fruitful, very like attractive, that they may have felt like you receive a lot of attention like this, so how are they any different? There's a lot of like self-worth stuff that came up for this person. So that is what they wanted you to know then, that it wasn't them trying to like intentionally sabotage anything with you. They just didn't really, it was sort of like a too good to be true for them, and they didn't want to pop that bubble in case it was just delusion, in case they were just dreaming, that sort of thing. It was like a don't wake me up sort of thing. And it ended up being like a self-fulfilling prophecy, that it was what they thought it was, and they definitely self-sabotaged. So that is what they wanted you to know then. I'm getting that this person has a message for you now, so I'm going to put that up as a part 2 for my subscribers. For those that would prefer a personal message, you can go ahead and book with me in my bio, so you get a personal message from this person or any other details. Other than that, if this resonates, let me know, and you can book all of my services on goldenpsyche.com.